I've known the president for years now, and a mutual contact, said that he wanted to speak. I wanted to speak to him. I didn't offer it as a criticism. For me, it was nothing more than strategists in a room saying, "Hey, what is the best messaging for black men?" I have focused the past 6 weeks of going around the country with a barbershop campaign, right? Going to barbershops to talk to black men, since I heard this every election cycle, they always say that black men are siphoned off. And I found the most effective way to communicate to the men in those gatherings was saying, what do you want? Vote for what you want. Declare what your values are, and then go out and make the choice on that. Don't consider my candidate or the other candidate. Vote for what you want. And I found it to be effective. What they would say is, what are you doing here? This is the first time someone came and asked that of me. And so I was saying, simply, that's not the way to get to folks. What I've experienced in the past 6 weeks is the fact folks want to see, what have you delivered?
Did he acknowledge that it was not delivered the right way?
We actually didn't get into which was better or if it was criticism. It was saying that we were on the same page. We just wanted to clear it. We wanted to make sure that we were on the same page and that we wanted to reach out to folks. And I think it's just a matter of messaging, one way or the other, and that the focus shouldn't be on the criticism or what is perceived as criticism or what is perceived as the right way or the wrong way to get to black men. The first thing is to approach and engage black men, accept the challenge, and get out the vote.
I mean, Coleman, we had you on last week when this happened. You were critical of it then. And you probably believe, I assume, that there is some movement toward the right among black men.
I mean, we've been talking about that not only on this show, on other shows on this network for over a year. Pew has been studying this issue. There is a clear trend among black men towards the Republican Party and away from Democrats. It's not just about Trump or Biden or Kamala. It's about a party effect. And the question is, why is that? I think it's even bigger than black men. I think it's men in general. I think there's something about the Democratic Party
that is
significant.
It's
probably
insignificant.
20 different polls
We've had the
say
same conversation going all the way back.
No, actually,
into
it's really
the
a phenomenon
80s.
of
And the fact is, in this election,
the past 8 years.
Give me any candidate who wouldn't want 85% of any demographics vote.
Trump actually got more of the black vote in 2020 than
No, he actually got 3 points. You're actually right. He got 3 more points. He got 3 more points.
You also think it's not as significant?
A trend line is not 3 points.
Burying your head in the sand isn't going to fix it.
I know, and that's why we're going around messaging to people.
Right, but I think the problem Obama had.
Black men sexist
I think the problem Obama had, and I even reacted to it when he did it, and I've been on the other side of when Obama does that. It's the sort of lectury, chiding Obama without treating them in a respectful manner. I didn't find that a respectful way to treat anybody, and immediately really pushing hard on identity politics over what do you want as a person, not just a man, as a person in American society. And I think there's a part of Obama that is the hope person, and then there's that. And I don't think that's an effective way. I think you're 100% right.
I think what he was saying is something that we've all been saying. And that's something that, I mean, as offensive as Donald Trump is to black men, it's very hard for a black man to understand why would someone vote for.
Right.
It's racist actions, it's racist words, it's racist policies, right? And so that was the thing that's in the front. And so what I said was reactionary. I said, yeah, the president shouldn't speak to them that way. Because I have found that something is more effective.
Right.
It was seen as criticism, and that's valid. I don't think that's as much an issue as the point of making sure that we continue to talk to them and get them out to the polls. And the trend that you're talking about is not that, it will not be that significant.
It's on the margins.
It's on the margins, and those 2 or 3 points may add up to something, and that's why we're engaging black men. That's why the vice president has put out a platform to answer some of those challenges.
Just a key question, actually, because I wanted to ask you the policies in that. I mean, effectively, she said, I'm going to give you marijuana, I'm going to give you crypto, and I'm going to give you unconstitutional government bribes. If a white Republican politician had done that, We would be in
That-
24/7
gotta
That
go,
is a
but
real
Scott-
disservice to like an
Yeah,
actual
and-
substantive
and
policy
actually-
platform.
To me, it was completely
Actually,
pandering
Scott,
thrown
that's-
together.
Scott. Okay, young people, regardless of their race, they want to hear about crypto. They want to hear about
It was for
marijuana.
black men. It was stated to be for
decriminalization.
only
Yeah, it was
black
stated
men.
because black men asked, "What are you going to do
And
for
the-
me?"
I
And
mean,
hold
and
on,
the
hold
lo-
on,
and
Scott.
the loans-
The idea that those
the
are
loans
just
were
It's
by
saying
race,
that
which
this
is
is what
unconstitutional.
Black
it's
men
not-
is, I think, not
it's,
true.
It's not loans for black men. It's
what
loans
it
for
was.
anyone. No, it isn't.
It
No,
was
it isn't.
specifically
She
said.
was
She was
actually
telling
she
this
was
will-
telling you this will be effective for you too.
For
a
you
policy
also.
that I had already put out a week ago, actually a month ago, that these entrepreneurial loans will be beneficial to you. Just like I tell black folks, it is a black policy. Social Security is a black policy. Medicare is a black policy. It is effective and it impacts your community as much as anyone else's community.
All right,
so it is
everyone.
not identity politics.
Thank
It's actually American policy.